Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I love that ending. I'm Banjo Ben, your host at the website that teaches you how to play banjo, guitar, and mandolin. This week we're going to learn a down the neck and the up the neck version of Wabash Cannonball in the key of G. This one's a lot of fun. It's got a little bit of everything, melodic, scruggs, and some bluesy, Reno almost type stuff. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, here in a moment I'll ask you to come over to the website, BanjoBenClark.com. You can join as a Gold Pick member. You can see hundreds of videos. I do these each and every week. As well, if you're a Gold Pick member, you're able to download all the tabs and the rhythm MP3. So I have the tabs for this one, a 20-minute video lesson, 20-plus minute, and then I also have 3 different speeds of MP3 rhythm tracks that you can download and practice. So let's dive into Wabash Cannonball in the key of G. Let's learn a couple breaks for Wabash Cannonball in the key of G. We're in standard G tuning. No capo today. Let's go ahead and throw that first line of tab up there. We're going to learn a down the neck solo first, down low, then we'll move up top. You'll notice beneath each one of these notes on the tab that I've got our pick hand indications. So a T would mean thumb, 1 would be index, 2 would be middle. We're going to use our thumb on 4 out of the 5 strings today, so it's important that you pay attention to those. Now this is a more intermediate to advanced version, so I'm going to assume that you already have a pretty good foundation in banjo. If you don't, then I've got plenty of stuff on the site that can get you ready for it. But we're going to try to establish the melody as solidly as we can this first time through it, so that as we start embellishing that melody, you know, people already know it. And there's lots of different ways to sing this song. If you listen to the way that Roy Acuff did it versus Johnny Cash, they sing it a little differently. So this is my interpretation. We're going to start on the 3rd beat of the first measure. On this 3rd fret, we're going to do some chromatic walking. And what I like to do in this one is kind of lead into the melody notes that we're going to be using. So we'll start on the 2nd fret, quarter note, down to the 1st fret, into the melody note in measure 2. And I like to try to put a lot of quarter notes in here at first and throughout the arrangement, just to not make it too busy. But we're going to start measure 2 at the quarter note, then we're going to start bringing up this melody, 2nd fret, then we're going to jump up and pinch, and then measure 3, we're going to play that melody note on the 2nd string, and then we're going to do a hammer-on with a forward roll, and I'm going to do that hammer-on with my middle 2 fingers. You can do it with the first 2 if you want. And then we're going to do a slide in measure 4 with a square roll. And then you can keep that finger down if you want. It's going to create that little dissonant sound, and then you can pull off with it. And I pull off going this way. Sometimes I do this way. Whichever way you want to do. So measures 1 through 4 sound like this slowly. And don't forget, I have another video here on the site where I play the whole thing through much slower than this, if this is too fast for you. So pretty straightforward. We're establishing that melody. Now we're going to go to a C chord, measure 5, but we're not going to go to a full C chord. Our melody note's down there, the 2nd fret of that low D string, and we're going to do a forward reverse roll. I'm going to leave my ring finger off this 1st string so that we get that open D note. So measure 5 sounds like this. And then I'm going to walk down again. Remember I said I wanted to walk chromatically between these notes. So after you do the first half of that measure, you can release your 1st finger and take it down to that 1st fret of the low D string, walking into that melody. Now at this point we're going into a D chord, and here's one thing that I think a lot of people have trouble with. Whenever you go to a D chord, people think automatically that you need to go to a full D chord position. And sometimes you could play it like that, but I'm going to give you a little more easy way to play it, I guess. Well, I'm not going to do anything at first when we go to a D chord. I'm just going to play that open D string, 2 eighth notes, and then I'm going to do an eighth note slide from 3rd to 4th fret with my ring finger. And then I'm just going to play this partial D chord. Partial D chord is simply 4th fret down here, 2nd fret on our 3rd string, and then I'm going to leave the next 2 strings open. So I'm going to slide and then pinch 1st and 3rd string. So measure 6 sounds like this. Now I'm going to leave this index finger down, but then I'm going to pinch those 1st and 3rd strings again in measure 7 and hammer on with my ring finger to the 4th fret and then pinch them again. So then come back to that 4th fret. So measure 7 sounds like this. Now we're going to leave that down and do a forward reverse roll. Again in measure 8. Then we release at the end of measure 8 and come down and grab that 2nd fret. So it sounds like this. So let me play 5 through 8 for you fairly slowly. Now most of our melody notes are happening with our thumb. Okay, so you want to try to listen for that melody and accentuate those as much as you can. Now when we get into measure 9,